Right, well, the sound was, I don't know why that went off. I made sure I clicked that, but there you go. Well, okay, well, there you go, folks. The sound is now coming through. So thank you, Max, for enlightening me on that. Should we start all that again, Max? You and I have been talking to ourselves again, which was nice.
I think so.
You can tell it's a live event. I mean, this is what happens on live events. Hello, it's Wednesday afternoon. It's 2:30 UK time. Here we go again for our live event, looking at what's going on in the world, how we're dealing with lockdown, and so forth. There you go, Max. Good to see you in the room again.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Thanks, Andrew. Not too bad at all. Managing to remain somewhat sane, keeping myself busy with the markets. A lot of trading opportunities happening out there at the moment. And it's proving to be quite a fruitful, if not somewhat isolated event.
As you and I were just discussing to ourselves, Max, I think we're in third or fourth week of lockdown now in the UK, and I know you're diabetic, type 2 diabetic, so it's pretty hard. Type 1 diabetic, even worse.
Yeah.
So, and how are you finding lockdown? Because you literally aren't allowed out of the house.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew. Yes, I am completely and utterly locked down. So, if I mean, speaking honestly with everybody here, I've actually struggled a little bit with it. Obviously, working from home already, you are somewhat isolated from friends and family as it is. But now with it's an amazing thing being able to work from home, but you do value going out significantly. So now I don't have the opportunity to go out anymore. It's been a bit of a struggle. Thank God the markets have been moving well, because if they weren't, then there'd be real problems going on.
Well, there's obviously a good reason to stay indoors, but yeah, I'm saying I mean, I've worked from home pretty much, since pretty much 2005. Really, I have worked from home and absolutely love it. I love doing the school runs, and that's about my only sort of time outside the house. But now you're told you're not allowed out of the house. I actually want to get outside the house. I mean, it's ridiculous. I love being here normally, and I've got everything I need here. But now you're told you're not allowed out. It does make it sometimes a bit more challenging. The weather's been okay here in the UK. I guess we had a lovely weekend, and and if you've got the space outside, you can it's great to be locked down. But certainly is a challenge in itself. I don't know if anyone saw that YouTube video I put out. Went out a couple of days ago, actually. Talking about the 10 rules, the 10 habits that you should get yourself into if you are working from home. Very easy to get into sloppy attitude. But the video's out now, so go and check it out. Someone maybe posted it here in the room, or I'll repost it later. But that went out a couple of I think it went out a couple of days ago, yesterday or a couple of days ago. But it was certainly well received. I think we've got a couple of thousand views straight away from the get go. And in terms of this week, the trading's been going good for you, Max?
It has, Andrew. Yes, it's been really good. I did a couple of forecasts on Monday and Friday last week. Anticipated a couple of drops in the Australian dollar currency in particular. There's been a lot of trading opportunities off the back of that. We've also done quite well in the US 30, the Dow, this week as well. So yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been actually that's a bit of a modest statement. It's been bloody brilliant actually, as far as trading goes.
Well, there's definitely been it's been, if you're following, I'm a trend follower. A lot of people that will see my strategies out there on the channel there will see that I'm predominantly a trend follower, and there have been some really good trends. It's been a lot of movement back on into the risk assets. What we mean by that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, risk assets, generally the stocks and so forth. If you want to take on more risk, they are known as the risk assets. When you had the coronavirus sort of really hit the markets about 4 weeks ago now, the stock markets crashed. 35% drop on most of the indices. We're actually seeing a recovery now in that. In fact, most of the indices have recovered 50% of that big drop. So there's a move now back on into risk. You definitely feel it. People are talking about easing the restrictions and so forth. I think it's absolutely bonkers, quite frankly. I don't know why they're so keen to. I know why they're keen to get back opening up the economic doors, but I think at the moment it would be economic suicide to start doing this. There's no real sign of a let up, certainly outside of China, of an easing of cases, and I think it's that's the challenge in itself. But certainly the markets are getting into risk on tone, expecting that to happen, and that's having an effect on the currency markets as well. A lot of trends have been following as markets basically went into risk. The dollar was sold off, and that basically gave us some good trending opportunities. But what do you think about this? What do you think about that, Max? I mean, they're talking about easing up the restrictions. Spain were talking about it a couple of days ago. Italy are talking about it now. I know. I think Austria have already started to ease up. But what do you think about easing up? Do you think it's about right time now, or?
The thing is, Andrew, for me, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to be any kind of medical expert here or disease specialist. So what I say is purely opinion. But I do believe that other countries have hit their peak far earlier. Now, what we know from the UK is that they are trying to elongate the peak point of the coronavirus so that our NHS isn't going to get absolutely battered and swamped in one big spike. Now, because of that, all the other countries, they've got their peak done. They've had their really big explosive area of all of the COVID cases. And now they're sort of talking about easing because the data shows them that the peak's really topped off. It's peaked off now, and they're on the decline. I don't think it is probably wise that I don't think they should be so adamant on easing things right this moment in time. I think they should give it probably maybe another few weeks, see if the data continues. And they're kind of for me, they're reacting extremely quickly to something that could very easily come back for a second wave. And that brings me it's a good segue onto the next point, Andrew, because I'm sure you would have seen it as well. I've seen news points saying that the coronavirus could very well come back for a second wave of cases. So I think it's quite a risky decision in trying to ease the restrictions and let the economy get going again, because it could just happen again, and we could be in a position that's twice as bad as we've seen now.
Twice as bad, and also just completely wipe out all the good that's done by the easing by the restrictions that have been imposed. I mean, there's no. I don't think from what I understand, I'm like you, Max. I've no real medical background, just sort of what I see on the news and what I read. But from what I understand, there's no real vaccine. We're not any closer to a vaccine at the moment. I know there's lots of maybe trials going on out there, but they're saying it takes 18 months. So easing up too quick, I think, could be. The second wave could come back and could even be worse as well. And it's certainly it's a challenging time for a lot of people. Let's have a quick look at who's in the room today. Anyone you recognise there? Good to see you all there. Bavin Palmer is in the room as well. He's asking what we're thinking about the gold markets. Gold's following stocks at the moment, isn't it? Gold
is unbelievably. Yeah.
Well, gold normally, funny enough. I mean, back in the day, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, gold was a really sort of big reverse trade to the stock market. So if the stocks went up, the gold would go down, and gold would go down, and stocks would go up, being a safe haven asset class. There's been a shift away from that correlation, I think, over the last few years. At the moment, gold is moving with the stocks. As the stocks were plummeting a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, gold was plummeting as well. Gold went from 1702, I think it was, down to 15. 15 into the 1580 or something like that. Really, fell with the stock market. Now, the stocks are rallying back up to those levels of the 50% sort of zone, and gold hit a fresh high again yesterday, coming off a bit again today. But gold's been moving. Yeah, we've been looking at gold. I mean, I think we called it up to 1700. Where it goes from here, long term, I think long term gold goes better. But technically on the charts, we're having a bit of a pullback, possibly an opportunity to get into that. We'll see. Agu, 1987. Good afternoon. I wonder what year you were born. Does that mean you're 23 years old? VJ is in the room.
VJ as well.
VJ, yeah. I recognise VJ. Do you recognise VJ?
Absolutely, yeah.
VJ is
been with us for a long old time.
He's been with us longer than I've been with us, I think. I don't know. He's won a few competitions, old VJ. He's won a few prizes for his trade signals, and I think he's got some T-shirts. I think unfortunately he's in India, and every time I send T-shirts, they get lost in the post. I don't know if the postal people steal them, but he hasn't actually taken delivery of the T-shirts that we've been sending. And Alvin's in the room here as well. We've got XRP, the Holy Grail. Yes, indeed, XRP, the Holy Grail. Leonardo Fibonacci is working in the room. Leonardo Fibonacci in the room, Max? Seeing that?
Leonardo Fibonacci.
So, indeed. What we're going to do today is just have a little chat about the markets and the trends and so forth. Then we'll look to see if there's any trading opportunities. I like to use my like a scalping strategy. A lot of you may have seen the strategy or variation of it in the videos we put out. It's basically looking to get into a trend on the lower time frame using a higher time frame conformation. That's easy for me to say. Looking to get into that on pullbacks, because when you're having a trend, trends never go up or down in a straight line. They always have pullbacks, along the way. And this strategy particularly looks for those pullbacks. But of course, we don't know when the market is actually just pulling back, or whether indeed it is a reversal. So I use sort of like a couple of really basic price action patterns. You can hear the machine banging off now. A couple of opportunities are coming up now. We'll have a look at that in a minute. We look basically for these sort of like pin bars and bullish and bearish engulfers to go with the trend. So I might take some live trades. We'll see how we go. We're only going to be doing for about 20 minutes. May take some live trades. Don't, guys, bet the farm on this. These are just indications of how I would trade. The market's on the lower time frame chart. If you are trading, then maybe do it on a demo account, see how you get on. But don't be betting the farm on this. These trades, some win, some lose. They work in the big numbers game. It's the law of large numbers. You might have 5 losing trades on the bounce, and then 7 or 8 winning trades on the bounce. So we may hit those losing trades. So don't bet the farm on any of these trades. If I take them today, act responsibly, and also make sure you control risk. Any markets you want to talk about, Max? Anything you've got on your horizon? Any charts you want to pull up?
Unfortunately, it's actually a bit of a bad time at the moment. Yeah. In terms of the trading opportunities, because a lot became available only a few hours ago.
What you got there on your chart there, I see. What's that big blue arrow pointing up? What's that one all about?
This one here, this is the S&P 500. I monitor the S&P. I'm monitoring all global equities quite closely at the moment, doing a lot of trading in the US stocks, and the Dow Jones in particular. I've got a short in the Dow at the moment. That's still riding down. So just soaking up and squeezing out the last bit of profit before I take profit at around 23.20 on that one, I believe.
Yes, okay, good. Yeah, nice one. As I say, the stocks have been trending. Let me just pull up my charts here, and I've got to make sure that I tell you what, if I put you over there, again, as we did last week, Max, I'm going to put you on top of me. Don't get all full of airs and graces on there. You are top of me now on the video. Okay, you're a bit small though. Can you see me? Yeah, it looks okay. Looks everything's coming through okay on there.
Fine. I was just reading a comment here from Mayor. Jesus Christ, Max, how much is your electricity bill considering the number of screens?
How many screens have you got?
There's not that many. They're just large. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 screens.
Max, you want to talk about a large screen? Okay. This. I'm sorry, mate, but you can't beat that for a large screen, right? That is what you call a large screen. Yeah. Now, there you go. Put it up there. It is a large screen. It's a really flashy touch screen as well. That is it's a 54-inch. But I don't use that for my daily analysis. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular screens. And do we need screens? Here's a question for you, Max. I get this asked all the time. It looks really impressive. I must admit, yours does look impressive, by the way. But I get this question asked all the time. Do you think you need 5 screens, 6 screens to be a successful trader? And if not, how many screens do you think you should have if you're trading at home? There you go. What do you think?
What does that mean? What, me personally or everybody in the room?
Well, I know you've got, you're running a mini NASA station there, but I mean, what do you think is the? What do you think is the? Do you think you need? Do you think you need 6 screens? Not you personally, no. But people coming in. I know we're doing lots of other stuff here, but do you think you need 6 screens, or could you get by and just trading on your phone?
No, certainly not trading on the phone. No, certainly not. I think for any new trader, I mean, when I started, Andrew, when I was 19 years old, I was trading out my mum and dad's house. and I used an old TV and a laptop, and I plugged the laptop into a TV screen, and that's how I traded. I generally would say a big screen, a big PC monitor, or two, or split screen. I think would be good. Just so you've got the screen space to be able to have your news events on one or something going on one, and then on your other one you're going to have your trading, your execution chart. Just so you've got that sort of screen space.
I agree, actually. I mean, I've got my trading station's 4 screens. I wouldn't be able to survive without 3, because obviously we're doing other stuff in broadcasting and all that stuff. But to just trade, 2 screens, I think certainly is enough. And if you are on, other constraints, then just 1. But I think trading from a phone, I totally agree. Trading from one of these things. I did a video on that as well, by the way, trading from a phone and how people are always looking at their trades on the phone. That's actually quite dangerous, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a sure way to lose money trading from your phone.
Well, it's not only that. I think personally it's a thin line, between gambling and trading when you're starting to look on your phone all the time. And you're out walking the dog or you're picking your kids up from school and you keep looking at the phone to see what your trade's doing. That means you're taking too much emphasis on that one particular trade, and that's taking too much focus, when, as you know, trading is not all about that one trade. One trade should never, it's a cliche, but one trade should never make you or break you. People that are looking on their phones all the time, there's a thin line between that and I would say and gambling. But yeah, a couple of screens I think is enough. So just having a look here, this is my sort of strategy at the moment. Before I do, I just want to have a quick look at what the currency pairs are doing in terms of momentum. This is a tool that I often refer to in our live streams that we do around the clock. So we're streaming, Max, myself and Mark, we're streaming normally a bit more content than we do on this little chit chat, but we're streaming live around the clock 6 times a day, 5 or 6 times a day, looking for trading opportunities. And when I come on, I know you don't use this, Max, you've got your own style, and that's what's so great about trading. You can use different styles. I use this as sort of like my backbone, if you like, to my trading decisions. It's what we call the momentum meter, and it basically tells me where the money flows are at this moment in time. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't predict the future. If it did predict the future, chances are I'll be knocking on, I don't know, George Soros's or Warren Buffett's door before I'll be knocking on Forex Signal's door. But it tells me what's going on at the moment. And obviously, as a trend continuation trader, you want to know where the money is flowing. The moment you can see here on the 4-hour chart that the Japanese yen is taking on all the business at the moment. All the money flows are flowing into the Japanese yen and this green line, which is the green US dollar. Now, this again is what we said earlier. This is like the safe haven currencies at the moment. The stock markets are coming into that level of potential resistance, and now there are sort of possible movements for a correction in the stock market back from their levels where we saw, just pull up the stocks here, you'll see the stocks had this really big drop back from about Valentine's Day it was, when we got up to almost 29,600. This is the Dow Jones, got down to 18,100. Then we had this pullback. So this is the bull run. This is the correction that I was talking about a moment ago. Got into the 50% zone and is rolling right off where we said it would roll off from, the 24 level, and now hitting 23. So at the moment, the markets are getting a little bit more risk averse, moving away from risk, having had the big run in the last few days to the upside. Well, not for a few days, basically since the end, middle of 20th of March it turned, and now you're seeing the US dollar and the Japanese yen and the Swiss franc all taking on bids. That's basically what's driving the markets, the forex markets, higher at the moment. The safety flow coming out of the markets and putting some strength into these safety currencies. Now the commodity currencies, you've got the Canadian dollar down here at the moment, New Zealand, Australian dollar. These have been sold off. These are the commodity currencies. These are generally the risk-on currencies. That's basically where we're flowing at the moment. I wouldn't be able to trade without this momentum meter. Basically tells me exactly where the money flows are at the moment. So with that in mind, I'm just going to have a look to see if there's any opportunities on our trade pattern finder today. Okay, so what this is doing for me is looking for these key patterns that we talk about when we're looking for trend, not trend reversal, but pullbacks and so forth. I'm going to click the 15-minute and the 5-minute for the sake of this. I'm going to look at the engulfing patterns and the pin bar patterns. I'm going to activate that now and see if anything comes up. So we just had basically one show us a potential setup here in the Australian dollar against the Swiss. Okay, I remember I want to follow the trend and I want to go with the higher time frame. So this is giving me a potential sell signal in here with this bearish engulfer. Let me make that a bit bigger for you guys so you can see it there. You should be able to see it there. We've got this array, pull back into the array of moving averages, hits the 21. I just want to have a quick look at the higher time frame chart, the 1 hour chart. This actually, Max, old boy, is a trade that we can take here. If it trades lower than that engulfing pattern, I'm going to be entering a sell stop order. So I'm going to enter that one there now anyway. I'm not going to do 0.65 a lot though. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be doing just a quarter of a lot on this, if that's all right with you, Max. We don't want to be risking too much on this little stream, but I'm just going to put that trade in there now. In fact, it's just coming into entry now. So I'll take that trade there now and take a short. I'm going to take a short there. Okay, the trend is down. We had this bearish engulfer pull back into the array. I'm going to put my stops above the 21 moving average, which is above the pattern candle. Okay, that's where my stop is. And my profit target is going to be, for the sake of this stream, about a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Okay, so that's where my profit target is. So it's definitely 1-to-1. So I've just taken a trade in Aussie Swiss short in this on this one on the 15-minute chart. Just keep an eye on that one, and I'll see what else is available. Let me know, Max, if you see anything else going on.
Yeah, I'm actually watching. I'm actually watching you with a lot of interest, Andrew. That pattern finder, that's a really smart bit of kit. That is.
Well, look at just scrolling up the line here. I mean, you see here we had another one here a while ago. It's almost exactly the same pattern. That would have given you a 20 pip gain. You had another one here as well. That one would have given you a nice gain. We've had not many. We had a bit of a pin bar there. So yeah, I mean, it's a great entry tool you can use, Max. I mean, it works well on all time frames, high time frame and lower time frame as well. So Aussie Swiss, keep an eye on that one for me. What else do we got going? We have got a Aussie dollar 5-minute dollar CAD's just come up as an engulfer, so I'll have a look at that one. Okay, this is an interesting one as well. Okay, this is the 5-minute chart. Just looking at the higher time frame, so I want to go up to the 1 hour chart to see if we're in trend. We are in uptrend. Moving averages are nicely beginning to fan out. We can mostly take that trade as well. I mostly missed our entry on there while I was baffling away. But that is an entry. We'll take a little trade in that one as well. I'm just going to do a 0.15 in this currency pair here, taking that trade there. So that's a dollar CAD 5-minute. So I'm buying dollar against the CAD. Okay, remember these are just streaming. This is not the. I don't do this all day long anymore. I'm way too old for this now. This 5-minute trading stuff. But we'll see. Whoops! I'm going to put my stops below the entry. Okay. I also look at the ATR down here. Now the ATR basically is the average true range. It basically tells you how many pips the candlesticks are averaging over the last 14 periods. The average true range in here is basically up there at about we got it's basically up there at about beg your pardon, on the 1 hour chart we're averaging a range of around 30 pips. Is that right? 30 pips? Gosh, that's 30 pips. That's quite a high range. It's been a busy day, obviously, for the dollar today. So there's our trade there, and I'm going to put my top profit target in as well, which will be just more than a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Okay, so I've got a short Aussie Swiss and a long Aussie CAD going at the moment. Now remember, guys, if you're following any of this, this is a 5-minute view, yeah. If you are normally when you're trading this on as a daily thing, you would have your key levels of support and resistance drawn in as well. This is just giving you a bit of a clue on how you can trade with trend, counter trend, akin to that strategy that I put out there on the channel a while back. So we're long Aussie, short Aussie Swiss and long Aussie dollar, and back to my pattern finder. I can do this on any time frame, Max. I can do this on the 1 hour, the weekly, the 1 minute chart. Don't really want to trade the 1 minute too much these days, and of course on the daily as well. Alvin says, check the euro dollar for us. Alvin wants to look at the euro dollar. Well, let's have a look at the euro dollar. Shall we see what's going on there? Euro dollar. So first of all, we've got the dollar strength. Strength. That's easy for me to say. We're rolling back here. Okay, so this is really, the US dollar strength that's coming in at the moment. We've just breached through the sort of 4 hour moving averages to the downside. Haven't quite fanned out at the moment. I think the challenge, possible test of the base camp down here would be around 107.90 zone. It looks as though we want to get down there at the moment. I would be trading that only, I think, biased to the downside on a longer time frame chart. What I'd say on this one is that we've definitely respected the pullback 50% zone. Then we had this move back down again, up again, failed to take out the previous high. Momentum for the euro dollar, Pavin, is would be, I think, to the downside. So that would be my little bias on that. Anything you've got to let's have a look here. Yeah, I'm also long pound dollar on a longer time frame chart from earlier today, which the pound's had a real bad bruising today, so the pound's come right back. Pound's been a really good currency over the last few weeks. It's pretty much since it all sort of kicked off. It's been quite a good defensive currency, but it is pulling back today. So yeah, I might get a stop loss hit on the pound dollar later on a longer term chart, but we'll see. Not over yet. But indeed, there's only one trade. Free man long in Aussie CAD and dollar CAD. Long Aussie CAD or dollar CAD? Well, I think the dollar CAD, US dollar against the CAD, is the best play at the moment. Although the Aussie's looking quite well bid. Let's just have a look at the oil price. Have you seen what's happening to oil today, Max? It's absolutely.
Yeah, I've just got oil open actually because it's me and the guys inside the trading room have been talking about a long in oil for quite a long time now. I'm just waiting for it to set up. So we've actually been trading down inside the big daily and weekly supply and demand level at the 20 zone. It did make a low, 19. What was it? 1920.
Got down to 1919. Yeah, 1919.
1919 a lower, but it's now started to bounce. So using the system that I have in place, the tools I have in place there, it's now starting to look pretty good for the long. Now, I use the A period moving average as a bit of a turning point indicator.
Yeah.
And on the weekly time frame, there's a really big extension, a huge gap from the weekly open and the current moving average that I use to indicate when there's a potential turning point in the market.
Okay, I'll put the weekly up on the chart now. I wish we haven't got too much data on this platform. I see that gap you're talking about. Yeah, it's on the chart now. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm looking at taking a long in oil back up to around the previous high of 28 in a continuation with I think it's going to be ranging. I think oil is going to range, and we're at the bottom of a range.
Okay, 28. Yeah, 28.35. I see as the level, as your target level.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I'm going to be thinking about taking oil back up to. I mean, at the moment that's looking at about 750p back up there. So yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
If it's a strategy, you've got to take it. I would be personally, that's just looking so weak, isn't it? I mean, the OPEC Plus meeting this week or Sunday, agreeing on 9.6 million cuts. The market got themselves all excited, potentially up there at 15, and then they cut this, and it just seems to be too little, too late. The big, drop in demand for oil because of the coronavirus is real. I mean, there's a 30% reduction. But yeah, at some point it's going to be good value. $19. Gosh, someone was telling me in the room today it's not been back down there since, I haven't got it on my chart, since 2002. You might be able to see it on your trading view, but I mean,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I think it was actually a little bit earlier than that on Trading View. Anyway, let's have a good look. So the last time we were trading here at this level was on a push up in, oh yeah, it is right. Yeah, 4th of March 2002.
So that's, what's that? 18 years ago, almost to the day. 18 years. It's 18-year low in oil prices. Yeah. Well, I know we keep using that word of unprecedented, but what we're seeing at the moment really is unprecedented, isn't it? Really is.
It is.
VJ says here, what is the reason for the dollar getting strong? Well, the dollar's getting strong at the moment, as I sort of alluded to there, because of it's seeing some risk safety flows, safe haven flows. In times of uncertainty, you go to a safe asset. Now, the US dollar is the sort of world currency in transaction and the safe, always considered to be the safer economy. The US economy, less likely to default on national debt than other countries possibly. So in times of uncertainty, there's always a flow into those currencies, like the US dollar. So that's basically why the US dollar is flowing higher at the moment, because it's got the risk capital going in there. So there you are. Carlos says pound dollar. Yeah, the pound dollar is looking weak at the moment. Pound is definitely looking very weak across the board, I would say. And Aluta says, what's caused the dollar to be so busy on all pairs? I've just said that because the dollar is the world economy, world currency basically. That's basically why that is. Sculpture, but would you mind him reiterating again so much flip-flopping on the markets? Okay, fair enough. Right, let's have a look. Anything else going on? Now I've moved off that pattern finder, we'll see if anything else has shown its head, and then we will soon to wrap up. We've got this. If anyone wants to get hold of this tool, by the way, it's you don't sell it. It's absolutely free. You can try it out. Come over to forexsignals.com. I think if you come over, you can talk to us all day long. As I say, we're streaming all day long, but also you can make use of these trading tools we've got. We've got risk management tools. We've got obviously the momentum meter you saw. We've got this really cool pattern finder. And you can come say hi. You can join us for a free trial as well. 7-day free trial if you want to give us a go. See what you think of it. I know a lot of people came over from last week, actually, Max, and I think they've all said how much they're enjoying it. And
yeah, that's right.
Been quite a lot of few people have actually bitten the bullet and joined us for a year, which is good. So yeah, so come over and come on down. Let's have a quick look at what is going on these now. So we've got the let's have a look here. The dollar CAD. And the dollar CAD, we are still in the trade, not moving too much at the moment, but we'll still leave that there. Dollar CAD still on, and the other one was the Aussie against the Swiss. Where's the Aussie Swiss here? Aussie Swiss is here, and that's just marginally on side at the moment, but still has not really moved too much. I have to keep looking down here, Max, to see if I'm still connected to the markets now, because it seems to have dried up now we've come online. But we are still live as well. So there we go. We've obviously got job numbers coming out again tomorrow, Max, in the US. There's been, I think
that's right. Yeah,
15 million or something joined the claimant count over the last 3 weeks, and they're going for another 5 million this week as well. That'll be 20 million in 20 million. That's 10%. 10% of the workforce in just a month. I mean, it's really gruesome for a lot of these families and businesses, isn't it? I mean, that have had to shut up shop. I mean, we said earlier, gosh, we want the lockdown to come to an end at some point, for these businesses, but you've got to do it at the right time, I'd say. What's my stop loss and take profit on the Aussie Swiss? The Aussie Swiss stop loss is at 61.08, which is about 12 pips away. and the profit target is going to be at 60.77. Okay, which is about 15 pips from entry as well. So we're just moving down a little bit at the moment, but I'm confident with that one. A nice trending down market. You see these are array of moving averages when they're fanning out like that. No crisscrossing going on. Always make for a higher probability trend trade. So there you are. You're loving the John Taggart. Good to see you. Just joined the group. Loving the education. Yeah, I didn't mention the education. We've got over 200 hours of video content that Max, myself, and Mark have put together. Discussing everything from all our different strategies to all our different trading styles to the psychological approach to trading, which is almost just as important sometimes as the actual strategy itself. So Max has got a strategy. Max strategy is the sniper strategy. You've got quite a few videos on that as well, outlining all the rules of engagement. Quite a technical strategy. I know you've got a lot of followers on that, Max.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it is growing every single day. It's it's really good actually, really really good. It is, as you know, Andrew, the system itself is probably a little bit more confusing for the uninitiated. But once you put in the groundwork, you lay down the foundations, and you get studying. It's fantastic.
Well, what I like about it, and from what I've read from your followers, is that you've got defined rules. There's defined rules. I mean, once you know the rules and you know what to look for, it takes the ambiguity out of trading. And most traders, that are coming into the markets for the first time, they look at a currency pair and they think this, and they think over and over again. Eat, sleep, trade, repeat. Just keep repeating the same processes and letting the edge play out of time. But in order to do that, you've got to have a set of rules, and that's exactly what your strategy does as well. A set of rules to allow people to do the same thing over and over again. Let the laws of probability work out. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. Just reading one of the comments here from Barvin. He says the trading lab is for stocks and we discussing Forex. Just want to address this comment. I'm not entirely sure if you've been in the trading lab before, Barvin, but the trading lab is for Forex.
Yeah.
It's for the Forex market. It's not for stocks.
Don't ask me about stocks.
But yeah, no, it's all Forex, not stocks, buddy. I'm not entirely sure if you got confused with something else. Not entirely sure there.
No, maybe you got some other company. No, stocks. No, it's all Forex, mate. That's what. Well, I don't know. Maybe the clue's in the question there. Maybe the clue's in the title. Forex signals. I mean, I don't know, but but yeah, no, it's definitely Forex. Aussie Swiss is just grinding down, not going very much. We're going to be wrapping up soon, Max, so we'll leave these going. In the markets, the dollar CAD's grinding up, so it's the right side of it. We're doing all right at the moment, but it's the right side of the trade, but nothing really too exciting at the moment. We'll just see if these keep pushing on. But remember, you've got to be patient. Got to be patient, and don't expect the world on each trade. Remember, it's a law of large numbers. Let the edge play out over time. Have I switched to Hakanashi candles? No, I have not. These are not Hakanashi.
I'm still trying to get him to switch over sculpture, but he's not done it yet.
No, I haven't. I used to have them on I used to use TradeStation actually, but you can't get them on MT4. I haven't. I'm trying to think about getting involved in TradingView. I do like that platform. I haven't got any real knowledge of it, but watching Max's streams all day long, I mean, it does seem like a really cool platform as well. So maybe I'll still be converted, Max. Maybe I tell you what, I will switch to Hakanashi. Yeah, when your hair hits your shoulders. Yeah. Which, by the looks of things, is not too far away.
It won't be too long.
No.
It won't be too long.
You'll know what's going on when he starts wearing a baseball cap. Max, for those that didn't join us last week, he's a bit vain. Yeah, he likes his hair. And because he's got this type 1 diabetic condition, I don't know if it's called a condition, it sounds horrible, but type 1 diabetic, he's not literally allowed out. I know we discussed it a moment ago. So he's not allowed to the hairdressers, and he's not allowing people into the house either. It's not as if you can get one of these mobile hairdressers coming in either. He's not allowed out, so his hair will keep growing. I've offered him to send him one of these on by FedEx, but he doesn't want that either, to cut his own hair. So it is going to get longer and longer. So when he starts wearing a baseball cap, that's when you know he's maybe having enough of it. But that's what's happening. Normally it's a lot shorter than that. It does grow fast though, doesn't it?
It does grow bloody fast, mate. It really does. It's yeah. I mean, every 2 weeks I go and get my hair cut usually. So
every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I can imagine that in another month I'll look like a caveman. I imagine.
How much do you pay for a haircut?
35 quid, 40 quid.
$50 for a haircut. $50 for a haircut.
It's an experience though, because you go in there, they've got my copy of my GQ magazine, they have my coffee selection ready for me, so I go in there and I sit down, I get a head massage before I have it done. It's bloody nice, mate. It's a good experience.
Yeah, I mean, $50, mate. I'll give you a good experience for 50. Well, no, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I mean, that's just crazy. When I was in, I know we maybe have some guys in the Philippines here, but I got some family in the Philippines. The only time I go to the hairdressers now, and I'm not tight, but it's when I'm in the Philippines. If I'm there for a month or so, I will go. And it cost me about $2 or $3 to get my hair cut. The rest of the time, as you can tell, I just do it myself. It's all done. I realised I was getting myself into tricky waters there when I talked about me going to the hairdressers. I thought, here we go. Your partner's Maria T. Where is your partner from? Your partner is a barber. Where's your partner from? Where do you get that pattern finder from? Trev Beats 77. You can come over, mate, and have it £20 for a standard haircut. Oh, God, that's a lot. How long does that take? 20 minutes? 60 quid an hour. Trevor Beats over at forexsignals.com. If you come over to the room, you can try it out, play with it. You can see it's working out quite nicely at the moment. But they don't all work, of course, but it gives you reasons to enter. Forexsignals.com. Try it out. You've got 7 days. If you don't like it, you might make enough money in your 7 days to pay for a subscription. Who knows? But you've got to do it in conjunction with other rules as well. But yeah, come over to the forexsignals.com and have a go. $20 for a haircut in GTA. Where's GTA?
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, right. Is it?
I have no idea.
No, the pattern finder is new. It might be available for signals any moment soon. No, it's in there at the moment, Joel Z. You're a member of the room, I think, aren't you, Joel?
Yeah, Josel. Yeah, Josel is.
I don't know what you're saying. It's available at Forex Signals any moment soon. It's been there for about a year. You can come over and try it out. I'm updating it as well. We're going to be putting some risk management in there as well, so that you can take 2 profit targets. One of the ways I like to trade this particular strategy is to take half off at a reasonably close TP1, which is normally about 1-to-1, and then trail the second half of the trade behind the 21. So we're going to be putting that into the pattern finder tool as well. Literally, I was testing it this morning, hoping to have it ready for today's live event, but got a couple of teething problems on it. But hopefully it'll be out soon. So that'll be great. You've got to manually trade it still. It's not one of these plug and plays. I don't believe in plug and play EAs. I've never seen anyone that works. You just plug it and make money for doing nothing. Never seen that work personally. I'm more than happy to look at one that you think does. But I've never seen one. Not in the last 15 years that I've been looking at it. Right, okay, Max. Go to the trading lab and you will find it. That's right, just over $1 for a haircut in South Africa. Okay, $1 for a haircut, yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple of students out in South Africa. Is that bloke still in prison in South Africa? What's his name, that Blade Runner? Oscar Pistorius, is he still there? Do you remember him?
Sorry.
Oscar Pistorius, he was a Blade Runner in the UK Olympics and he got done for murdering his wife
right.
on Valentine's Day, didn't he? Reverse.
Yeah.
He's in there, yeah. What an end of a terrible, yeah, he's in South Africa, isn't he? But there you go. $10 for a haircut in Mexico with a small Coke included. A line of Coke? Or Coca-Cola? In Mexico, I don't know.
Oh dear.
No. 50 ruby for a haircut, Alvin says. Right. Okay. Right, okay then, folks. We're going to leave that there. That's well past our time. We're still keeping these trades going on at the moment. I'll keep these going. And Aussie Swiss, maybe it's only a small trade. Aussie Swiss trading to the downside. Dollar CAD at break even at the moment. So we're still in those trades. If you're in those, well, good luck to you. If you want to, you can use those You can use those patterns, and just using it manually. You don't need the pattern finder, but it makes your life a lot easier if you did have one. So if you want to come and try it out, come over and say hello. All right, Max, I'm almost done. I think we're almost done here. I will say thanks all for joining in. We'll do the same again next Wednesday. So we can make a few pips, have a chat about markets and so forth. Keep an eye, folks, on the stock market. Your stock market is definitely showing signs of a bit of bull fatigue. Okay, so as I said, we've had that big run up from the lows after the initial crash. We hit that 50% of the correction, and we do seem to be wanting to roll back at the moment. And this could be the theme over the next 2 or 3 days, if not week, in the stocks. And you know what happens in the stock market has repercussions into the Forex market as well, in terms of risk on and risk off. We discuss this all the time throughout the trading day in our room as well. So if you want to come and learn more about it, if you want to talk about it, ask me questions, ask Max questions, want to get to know our strategies, you want to enjoy any of the tools, then come over to see us. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Max, over to you. Say goodbyes.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for viewing. I hope you guys all stay safe. Remember, whilst this isolation thing's going on, just keep yourselves busy, keep some structure and some routine in your lives. It's really, really important not to get up at 11 o'clock in the morning, sort of thing, and to get up at a good time, get structure, get routine, keep some kind of normality in your lives. Even though there's the isolation going on at the moment, you can still do things and keep yourself focused around the house. It's going to keep you mentally well as well, because mental health is going to be a big thing right now. So take care, good luck, and hope to see you all in the trading room soon enough. See you then.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for tuning in.